Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Late Trax podcast. I'm your host, Captain Jack. Well, Captain Jaximus, whatever you want to call me. I sometimes even answer asshole. So the thing is, well, what's on our plate for Trax Revolution? Well, Trax Revolution, we have a lot of things going on this week or this month with the July 4th weekend. Happy Independence Day to all my wonderful, awesome Trax Revolution people out there. Hey, if you're watching, please comment to let me know what you think. Because, I like to know who's commenting and I like to know who's watching, but you obviously left. So, basically, screw you for not giving me a chance. Because, I'd watch your videos if you'd watch mine. So the 4th of July is tomorrow. So we got the 4th of July coming up tomorrow. Happy Independence Day to all those people who are going to be out having the 4th of July. Just be careful, don't blow off any fingers. Don't blow off any fingers. I'm still working on getting money together for the XL Sportwear t-shirts that we are having. We do have these t-shirts available on Logo Sportwear. If you want to go to the Logo Sportwear website to get the Trax Revolution shirt that I'm wearing right now, you can get that one. You can't get it that says Jack Trax on the back. This is the President's t-shirt. But you can get the actual team one. The hat that I made, or the hat that I have, is at Walmart. I basically cut the top of it off. I am working on a Trax Revolution America hat right now. This is going to be another one that's going to get done. There's 2 hats being made. You'll see these on my seat covers. These will actually go on my headrest for the in my car when we go to Modest. So on July 20th is the Modest Car Show. And then the 21st is when Drive Cartel takes over the CHS field in Minneapolis. So they're going to close down the whole parking lot, and then you're going to be able to go into the field and park not into the field, but you're going to go into the parking lot of CHS field, and you're going to be able to park your car, and there's going to be a whole bunch of cars there. So basically, Drive Cartel used to do a show called Cars and Crafts at the St. Paul Brewery, and then that got fucked over because some D-bag last year in a fucking Dodge Charger decided to, take over the show, and he crashed the Dodge Charger into somebody's car and, ruined it, and, was a total douchebag. So Cars and Crafts hasn't happened for a long time, or they don't really post much about it. Also, there's a lot of things going down with Carmunity. There was a big thing that happened with them, so now there's a new thing with the Minnesota Car Club Enthusiasts. The Minnesota Car Club Enthusiasts Club. They are now called Redline North America, I think is what they're called. But they got something going down with Carmunity, and like there was a big, huge thing. Something happened, and I don't know the whole story about it, but they're all coming together when they come to the convention center. So there's the Modest Car Show put on by Drive Cartel is coming on July 20th. It's not 2 weekends. It's the following weekend. It's the 3rd weekend of the month. And I will be putting the Mini Cooper in the show because I put in, I got my tickets to put it in, tickets to the gun show. No, I got my tickets to go to put my car in the show, and I can't wait. I'm excited, but yes, I will tell you right now, the Mini Cooper is far from done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on it. I'm actually trying to put airbags on it. I want to put 20-inch wheels on it. I want to get the motor all redone up and everything else. and it's just taking fucking time. It's, I have an expensive hobby, I guess, and it's one of those things that just takes time. And I've been on Instagram and I keep getting these stupid messages all the time. It's like, if you see this, God's going to bless you with a daily affirmation, and just hit like and save. And then um, after you do that, you get bombarded by, like, you get bombarded by all sorts of fucking ads and bullshit. There was a guy who sent me out of $52. He had a legitimate business, but basically what he did was he would take pictures of your car, digitize them using AI, and then show your car driving down the road, and basically look like a cartoon. And this guy is probably part of the Yahoo Boys, which is out of Nigeria, is a company that basically takes people's money, and they make up a profile, of interests, and then they go and they follow yours, or they do fake profiles, and then they ask you for money. And I thought it was legitimate. I thought it was a legitimate business, and I looked into it, and I gave them I sent them money using PayPal, and it was on Instagram. I sent them money using PayPal, and the guy was always like, getting really testy with me every time I asked him questions. And I was like, dude, what the fuck's going on with you? And he's like, well, you're getting upset with me. And I'm like, well, yeah, I want to make sure I'm not being scammed, because, I don't like it when, I give money to somebody for a service and they turn around and fuck me over. I hate that. I mean, that's like, that's like that's like you doing a whole engine work, a mechanic doing a whole engine work. And then all of a sudden the guy saying, oh, I don't have the money, after you already did the labor and everything. That's why I'm, when it comes to doing stuff on stuff like that anymore, I'm actually making sure that you have a legit website and that I actually talk to you. So the guys at Excel Sportwear, who are going to be doing our t-shirts, I've actually talked to a guy. I've emailed him, and I've literally talked to him. I've seen their website. I've seen their pictures. I've seen all their videos, and I literally called their studio. So they're a legit company. So is Logo Sportwear. Logo Sportwear is out of Connecticut. I've actually talked to them. I've actually called them about 4 times. They called me back and they told me that the quality of this t-shirt wasn't going to come out very well, because the way that the JPEG is on the fucking DTF transfer. And I don't really care. I am one of these kind of people who just wants our logo on a fucking t-shirt. Because a t-shirt's never going to stay strong, because if you wear it all the time when you go to shows, because it's your only fucking thing, you have your business and you love your business, you love your company. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I rep my company. I even rep the company that I work for. Y'all know that I work for Groom Transportation, which is a shuttle service that drives people to Minneapolis Airport, Alexandria, and Duluth, they drive to Alexandria and Brainerd, from the St. Cloud area. From the St. Cloud area, we go to Alexandria and we go to Brainerd. There's shuttles in Duluth, there's shuttles in Rochester, there's shuttles in Eau Claire, but they're all in the Minnesota area. There's a company called Groom Transportation. You go online, you book online, you save $5 depending on where you're going. Everybody goes to Minneapolis Airport. Yeah, it's a way to go to Minneapolis Airport. But it's a good company. I work for them. I drive for them. I love their company. It's a great way to get down to the airport. It's a way to get to Brainerd. It's a way to get to Alexandria. It's also a way to get to Rochester, Eau Claire, and Duluth. So that's the plug for that. And that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm sticking to. So we have the Modest Car Show on July 13th and 14th. Is the Truck Nationals at ERX Motorsports Park. Now, if you're not familiar with the Truck Nationals, we went a couple of years ago. Truck Nationals is stadium truck racing. It's part of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing series. And the local guy that's in the race is Andrew Carlson. Andrew Carlson is a really cool driver. He's number 15, and he races in the side by sides and he races in the stadium trucks, and the trophy trucks is what he races in. And the racing is very fun. It's very fun racing. It's very cool to go to. I'm going there on Friday to go and do PR and everything else. And then Saturday, I think I'm going someplace else. I have no idea. I will take a look to see what I'm doing. It's not really sure what I'm doing. Um, oh, it kind of got a little grainy in here. Well, Mother Nature's light kind of turned off. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. God said, let there be light. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I got a new chair, by the way. It's a desk chair. It's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, on the July 13th and 14th at ERX in Rogers or Elk River, they have the Truck Nationals, which I'm going to, and then they got on the week after. We have the Modest Car Show, and that's 2 days actually. Well, it's not a 2-day event. The Modest Car Show at the convention center is a 1-day thing, and then the next day after the Modest Car Show, we have the takeover at the CHS Field, which is done by Drive Cartel, and Drive Cartel is doing the Modest Show, and then they're doing the CHS Field takeover. Which they're going to be doing that, and that's supposed to be really good. And I got a post yesterday on Instagram from the Supercars or the Car Club of Wyzetta, and out of Wyzetta, and I saw the guy. He was driving a Ferrari, and I saw him. I was driving my groom van, and I messaged him. I said, "Hey, I saw you on 494," and he's like, "Don't you know who I am?" And I said, I have no idea who you are, bro, because I've never met the guys. The Minnesota Exotics. There's a Minnesota Exotics or Supercars or whatever, and I want to meet those guys. I want to do a podcast with them. Actually, I want to go to a location, sit down, and do an actual podcast in front of their cars, and get a table set up and everything, and just sit down and have a thing. I'm sorry that my studio or my live has my closet in the background over here. That's my closet. And, it's got my stuff in it. That's my kilt hanging there, and everything else. And I don't really care. I mean, I'd love to do this from a garage, but I don't have a garage yet. I'm working on that. So, how normal people want to buy like a townhome or they want to buy a townhome, or they want to buy like a nice, house out in the hills, or a house like basically with a white picket fence and shit like that, right? Well, I don't want that. I want to actually buy a fucking garage. That's what I want. I have lived my entire life trying to work on cars and trying to do all kinds of shit, but every time you live in a homeowners association, right? Every time you have an HOA or a fucking landlord, or when you have something, you can't ever fucking work on your car in your driveway. You're not allowed to. They like fucking jump down your throat, or somebody bitches at you about that, but not here at my house, because I haven't really tried to do that yet. But I don't have the damn tools to do the work, for one thing. I don't have the tools. I don't have the fucking anything. So yes, I go and get my shit done at Valvoline. I'm sorry. I go and get it done because I don't have the stuff to do it, but I know how to do it. And I keep on telling people, like on Instagram, like I see girls all the time standing next to their cars. I see girls standing next to their cars all the time. There's models, you can't stop a girl from being a model. Okay. She's going to be a model if she wants to do that kind of shit. But don't you guys think that this would be a lot cooler if the girl actually knew how to work on the car? and was a model, I mean, that would be a gift from the car gods. Yes. But the one thing about having, models is that they do their thing. They're there, They have to show off their jugs and show off the car. But one of the things that I don't like about girls standing next to cars is because one time we went to a car show. There was a car show that I went to. I went to a car show with Trax Revolution in where was it? Was it Sterling, Virginia, or we went to a car show at the at the Dulles Convention Center, and there was a girl. She was a model, and she had rhinestones, and she had buttons on her swimsuit. And this guy had this really nice Mustang, really nice Mustang. It was done up really well. It was like really kick-ass. It was a really sweet Mustang. And this model sat down on his hood, and she scratched the whole entire fucking hood with her ass. Yeah, once she put her weight down on the hood, it scratched the whole entire thing. Now, the dude's boyfriend, or the dude's girlfriend, girlfriend. Sorry, I didn't mean anything about that. The dude's girlfriend was sitting in the passenger seat of this Mustang, and she saw this model sit down. And then she heard the rhinestones scratch the hood when she got up. She opened the door of that Mustang, and she jumped out of there like fucking Simba's mom from fucking, I mean, she was literally on top of this model, and she was beating the shit out of her. She was like, just punching the shit out of her. Now, Jack, being the innocent bystander that was walking by the Mustang and saw all this going on, Jack goes and grabs the model and pulls her away. And then the guy comes out and grabs his girlfriend, and she was sitting there. And the girlfriend was being pulled away by the boyfriend. And she was like, "Bitch, you scratched my fucking boyfriend's car. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why does your cunt ass have to be there, sitting on my boyfriend's car? What the fuck?" And like, it was bad. I mean, it was bad. It was terrible. I saw the whole entire thing. So I had to go and, I was also holding the model. I grabbed the model and pulled her away from the car. I pulled her away from the girl because like it was weaves flying all over the place. I mean, the girl beat the shit out of the model. I mean, she had a black eye, and I mean, she had a black eye, and I mean, it looked like, remember when Letty punched that one guy in Fast and the Furious? That's exactly what it was. It was like it was like a real quick, like right cross. Like, I mean, it was a left cross. I mean, she just like whack, just totally like just hit this chick and like wailed on her, beat the shit out of her. And I was sitting there waiting for the girl to be like, "I never narked on anybody. I never narked on anybody." No, but so she was sitting there beating the shit out of this girl. So I grabbed the model off, and they had to go, and they basically went into this car show timeout. It was kind of like a car show jail. So what ended up happening was the body work that had to get done on this dude's Mustang, I heard it was a carbon fiber hood. It was a carbon fiber hood, and it was scratched completely down, and then her ass dents, went into the car too, so you could see the ass dents on the hood, and it was really bad. And it was just, so the guy had to buy a whole new carbon fiber hood. So the girl that ended up, they ended up doing something about it, but I know what happened because I talked to the dude with the Mustang. I talked to him a couple weeks later after the whole thing happened, and he had to buy a new carbon fiber hood. And he was like, well, the pictures came out funny because the thing is that the guy taking the photos, he got the still of the girl's hand going back and then punching the model, and The face came like this and hit the girl in the like. You could see the face go like this and punch the girl like right in the eye, like boom, like just knocked her out. Just you could just see her just go like it was like she was like it was like bam, and then she was like just like spun around and fell on the hood, and she was laying there on the ground. And it was, and her weave came off, dude. Her actual fake wig got knocked off, and it was funny. It was just ridiculous. I mean, it looked like something out of like a hate crime, but no, it was different. It was like completely and utterly different. It was really weird, and like people weren't expecting it at all to happen. So I gotta get some air on me here. Yeah, I gotta get some air here. So so this girl like totally like just punted, like I mean she pounded the shit out of this girl. So we were all talking about it, and it was just a big huge fucking thing. So that's where my thing against the whole models, I mean models are cool and everything, but models don't need to sit on someone's car. That's the honest to God's truth, is you don't need to sit on some guy's car when you take the pictures. Basically, what you need to do is keep your ass off of somebody else's car. Your hands, ass, tits, whatever. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Just keep your shit off of somebody else's car. And I don't have anything against models. I mean, they're doing their job. They're going to the show to make the car, to stand next to the car, to make their profile, their portfolio better and everything. But honestly, I'm sorry, guys. I would rather have a woman that can work on a car than have a woman that can stand next to a car. I mean, everything goes back to the whole Ja Rule thing. It's not how you stand next to your car; it's how you race your car, or some shit like that. It's that line from Fast and the Furious that we all know and love so much about how you race your car, not stand next to your car. But also on July 6th, coming up, well, that's this weekend. On July 6th, we have a Mini Cooper run. We're going to Taylor Falls, I think it is, up in that Taylor Falls area. And the Minnesota United Minis are all getting together, and we're going up to Taylor Falls to go for a run. And I just can't wait to do that because I like getting my Mini out and driving. I know that I've been saying things on Instagram about how I would love a Fast and the Furious family. Because back in the day, Trax Revolution, we did that. I mean, yeah, we were 5 guys. We would go hang out at my friend Andrew's grandma's house in Ashburn or in Leesburg. We'd go hang out there. We'd all park the cars in the driveway, and it looked like it. I mean, it looked like it was a car show, but I mean, it was it was only a couple. It was a couple cars here and there. A Civic, it was a Grand Am, it was my WRX or my Neon. But we always parked we had a lot of cars parked at the house, and it looked like a car show all the time. And a lot of people do say to me that I'm like the Vin Diesel of Trax Revolution, and I say this because I'm the oldest. And I still run Trax Revolution. I mean, I still am the president, the owner, the CEO, basically the only one putting any money towards it, because well, everybody else, did their own thing. They all moved on. Yeah, they all moved on, but they're still friends with me on Facebook, which I really do appreciate you guys staying around. I actually am trying to get in touch with Brittany, Dustin Van Camp's little sister, and her dad and her mom. I'm trying to get in touch with them because our 30th anniversary comes up in 2 years. So, I mean, we've been around for 28 years. So our 30th anniversary is coming up. Hopefully by that time I can get all my shit together and get things done. Yes, there is rumors that I am moving to New Mexico. I'm actually trying to move to New Mexico, and the reason why I'm trying to move to New Mexico is because I'm done living in Minnesota. I don't want to be here anymore because Minnesota is just basically crappy in the wintertime. I mean, I wanted to open a rally school. That's what I've been wanting to try to do is open up a rally school around here, but nobody wants to take me serious. Nobody wants to give me a chance. Nobody wants to help me out because Morgan's Motorplex that was open here in St. Cloud. They tried to do an autocrossing. They tried to do an autocrossing track, and nobody took them serious. So um, Morgan ended up moving to Wisconsin, and he ended up working at a track, which is the fucking greatest thing that's ever happened to him. I mean, I'd like to get ERX to help me out with this rally school thing because they have a back part of the track, and they also had Nitro Rallycross there at one time. But I don't know what happened to that because I don't know why Nitro Rallycross stopped going to ERX. I don't know what happened if Travis Pastrana or if the Carlsons just got pissed off at somebody or what happened. I have no idea. Nobody ever wants to really ask that question. I mean, I would talk to Andrew about it when I go to ERX this weekend or next weekend, but I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm going to go there and I'm just going to talk and go there and walk around and look at all the stuff, go live and, try to get everything going because so yes, my Facebook page that says Jack Camo Claus, that is now going to be Trax Revolution. So the thing is that my Facebook page is now going to be Trax Revolution. Now remember, we did this before, and what happened? We got rid of the page. Well, the reason why we're doing it now is because I'm tired of social media. I'm going to have social media for my business and for Trax Revolution. I do have my friends like Brendan, and Brendan's detailing again. He's trying to do it with his shoulders, and he's trying to do some stuff around the house. So I mean, Brendan, he's doing detailing again, and I'm trying to get him to, to be a part of Trax Revolution with me. I actually have an idea for a T-shirt for his detailing that goes with Trax Revolution because he's the detailer of Trax Revolution. He's the one that does all the detailing of cars and stuff. He used to have a really big business and then it kind of went downhill, but he's trying really hard and he's basically trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do. We're trying to make ourselves, known. And he doesn't charge too much. He charges what he needs to charge to make his work, but he does a hell of a job. That's what it is. So if you ever need your car detailed in Alexandria or in that area, go see him. Go see Brendan McMillan. I can actually give you guys his telephone number in the thing. In the links just below, you can actually find out who he is on his Facebook page. It's called Detailing by Brendan. He's a really cool guy, really great person. And also, if you really and truly ever need your windows tinted, there's a really good guy that tints windows. His name's Kevin Knapp, really good friend of mine. He's a really good guy. They had a car show. In Alexandria last week. The Alexandria Vintage Car Club car show, and they had 314 cars or 317 cars. And Kevin Knapp had his cars there from Shaded Image. So they had his cars there, and it turned out to be a pretty cool, it turned out to be a pretty cool setup for him. But he's a good window tinter. He does window tinting and stuff like that. So I mean, he's got it going on. He also does wraps. He does vinyl wraps and everything. And yes, over the years that I've had my Mini Cooper, you guys have seen my Mini Cooper go from all kinds of different colors. It started out as a green car with a white roof, and now it's a red, white, and blue car. Man, bless me. So the Mini Cooper has gone through a lot of things. I mean, it's gone from a green car with white racing stripes with a white hood or a white roof, to a green car with an orange roof, to orange and purple car with a green and red middle, with the middle stripe going down the thing, to a green and red car, noted by the Minnesota Wild as the Wild Wagon. And now it's red, white, and blue, or the Camel Claus Cruiser, at Christmas time. But now it's red, white, and blue, and that's the way it's going to stay. But there's a lot of work on the Mini Cooper. I'm actually trying to buy another vehicle so that the Mini Cooper can get work on, so I can get work on the Mini Cooper and get it done. But yeah, I'm 44 years of age, and I'm trying to get shit together. And I know that, I've been off and on with Trax Revolution, and you got to understand the reason why I've been off and on with Trax Revolution is because I've been going through a lot of stuff. Um, we've had a lot of things going on in our lives. Our recent separation with my wife, Joe, Lady Joe. I separated with her, and now she's living in, and she's living in Sauk Center, or she's living in Sauk Center, and she's trying to make every day work out, just like I'm trying to make every day work out. We're both living our lives. Her car is in a repo lot, and her car is in a repo lot in Albertville, and I'm trying to get it out. The reason why I'm trying to get it out is because, one, I want, to get it back, and I want to help her have her car. I know that people will say to me, Jack, that's kind of stupid that you want to help somebody out. But the thing is, when it comes to cars, I don't want somebody to lose their car. I've never wanted somebody to ever lose their car. And, I sit here and I speak the truth. That's what this is. I come out and do this because everybody says to me, Jack, don't talk about your problems on Facebook and everything else. Well, this isn't a problem. This is something that happened. I mean, it was bound to happen. Relationships don't work out 90% of the time. We're not always going to find our Letty, is what I always got to say. Or we're not going to find our Jesse or our Vin Diesel. We're not going to find that. I use Fast and the Furious terms because the thing is that Fast and the Furious is a very big topic, especially with Brian being gone, with Paul Walker being dead and everything else, and with the new movie coming out next year. But here's the thing. If you're a mechanic and you're a person who's got a passion and a love for cars, you want to find somebody who has that same passion. So when you put that together, it's times two. It's a strong bond. So yes, Joe and I had a great relationship. We had a great relationship when it came to car things. I mean, we both love cars. I mean, she loved cars. I know she did. And that's one of the reasons why I loved her as much as I did, is because she had a passion for cars, and she's a great woman. She's a great woman. And I don't have any disrespect for her. Yes, I don't. But what happened behind closed doors, you guys don't know anything about that. And you're never going to know anything about that because I don't want to tell you what happened. But the thing is you can believe anybody's story. You can believe anybody's side of the story you want to believe, And the one thing about my life is I live my life every day. I talk to you guys on Facebook. I talk to you guys on YouTube, because the thing is that, you know what? If Joe Rogan can have his podcast, why can't I? That's exactly how I feel. I feel like, I should be able to tell my life story on YouTube or Facebook and be happy about it and not get fucking beat down about it. You guys don't have to watch it if you don't want to. But anyway, so everybody's out there. Like, if you're a mechanic or you're a car person, you're always out there trying to find a car person like you. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to have a dating site. I want to build a dating site for car people. But after I do this on YouTube, it'll probably happen. Somebody will probably make a dating site for car people, and it'll happen, and somebody will take my idea and they'll probably run with it. But who knows? There's always somebody out there who's always doing something, better. And like I said, one of my things that I would like to have is I'd like to have a girl who knows how to work on cars and knows how to be around cars, not wearing a bikini. I did have that. I had that. I still do. I mean, technically, Joe and I are still married. We just haven't gotten the divorce papers done yet. Um, and that's not trying to make her push to get the damn papers done or anything like that. It's just saying that we haven't done it yet. Because, a lot of people tell me, Jack, you know, Joe was like your rock. She was one of the best things that ever happened to you. And she was. Yeah, she was. Because then I wasn't lonely all the fucking time. I wasn't talking to you guys all the time. I had somebody on my side. And then there's some people who always tell me, hey, you're better off on your own. The people who really know the real Jack Craning, yes, the people who really know the real Jack Trax, who know the real thing about him, is sometimes they know that when I'm down in the dumps, that's not how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a positive, happy-go-lucky, fun guy who likes to be around everybody. And that's what I like to do. That's why I go to car shows. That's why I do the things I do. Because cars are my life. Yes. I mean, I would rather spend all my money on trying to get me a GTR or something like that. Because that's just how it is. But one of the things that I'm really big on is cars. I talk to people all the time when I'm on my groom shuttles about cars, and that's a conversation that is so much better than politics. I mean, you can always talk about your first car. You can always talk about your first time that you went on your long trip, when you went on your journey or whatever. As long as you were behind the wheel of a car, you have fun with it. Because, cars are what everybody says is a great thing. Now, I did see some rumors and I did hear some things that Top Gear or the Grand Tour or whatever, the show, Top Gear and the Grand Tour are never going to be on TV anymore. Because, well, the people who are hosting Top Gear now, there was a big accident, a big car wreck. Somebody got hurt, and they decided to pull the show. And then when Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, had the show, they had to get off the show because of something that Clarkson said about the new, Harry, and it was about Harry and Meghan Markle or some shit like that or whatever. But it's all water under the bridge now. It's all something to do. See, the one thing that I say is that if you would stick to keeping the topics about cars and not about what's going on in politics and going on in the world, then maybe you would have a car show. That's what they need to do, is have a show that is all about cars. Like Count Customs. That show was all about a guy going and helping a person do a project, modifying the car for them, and then giving it back to the customer and, doing all the work. Now, that was a cool show, Yeah, Pimp My Ride was a fun show as well, too. I mean, Pimp My Ride, they had weird cars that they would do customization and everything. But the one thing that you have to understand is the car customization was done by a great company with a low budget. I mean, Gas is now one of the greatest garages ever. Gaplin Auto Sports is a great shop. There's also West Coast Customs. I mean, they're a great company. You see Shaquille O'Neal, he's got like a whole bunch of cars that have been done by um, West Coast Customs. I mean, they, West Coast Customs does a lot of they do a lot of customization on a lot of cars, and they are one of the biggest. They are one of the biggest, car show car companies in the world. I mean, they're even down in Germany. They actually have a West Coast Customs in Germany too. They have a Germany office. Um, but the thing is that you see that like a show like Pimp My Ride came out, and then it helped a shop. I mean, we would have never known about a guy named Mad Mike if it was anything like that, or Horny Mike from Counting Customs. I mean, but all these guys paint cars, and they do shop, and they do work on it. They do customization. That is what we don't have anymore. We do not have custom car shop garages anymore in anywhere. I don't know where they are. I mean, it's probably because I haven't looked for them. But what they need to have for car shops and car places is they need to have a place where you can go and have everything done to your car. Like, and that's what I want. So I want to build a house that has a garage attached to it. So what I want is I want a garage, like a shop, basically a shop that has living quarters inside of it, for me to live in, and then have like a 20 or 30 car bay. So I have 30 bays where I have a lift, I have a tire machine, I have an alignment rack, I have a paint booth, I have a car wash bay, I have all this kind of stuff, so that you have that all available for the customer, because customers want everything done to their fucking car when they come in. They want an oil change. And then as soon as they get an oil change done, they want the car vacuumed out. Then they want the car washed because they don't want to have any oil residue dripping on their driveway. But sometimes we can't stop head gaskets from leaking. We can't stop drain plugs from leaking. We can't stop a car from leaking. I mean, Harley Davidsons, they always leak oil all the time. And that's a known fact, because it's doing is it's lubricating the engine. Subarus do the same thing. An EJ25 motor, it always does that. It always leaks oil all the time. And the reasoning is because it's lubricating the system. And there's nothing you can do about it. But people sit there and they think, oh my God, my car is breaking apart. My car is fucking up. My car is having a problem. I hate Subarus. I hate this. I hate Lexuses. I hate, whatever. But the thing is that if you know your car is going to run forever. I mean, I have a Mini Cooper, for God's sakes. I bought the Mini Cooper because, one, I didn't want to have a Subaru again because I had a WRX. And I loved my WRX. It was a great car. But I wanted a hatchback. And they discontinued the hatchback. And then they got rid of STI. So they don't have STI anymore. But they still have the engine. And they still have the parts for all this stuff. And they have these people who are still doing the research and development to keep the Subaru engines running like an STI. And that's great. Ever since they dropped this thing about emissions and everything, they dropped the things about emissions, they dropped, things about this, that, and the other, saying that it's all bad for the environment. There's a lot of other things out there that are worse than the environment than just having a car that runs on 93 octane. Yeah. I mean, you see these ads and you see all these dumb videos about people who are like, well, I don't understand why people have to highly modify their cars to make these loud bangs and pops and everything like that. And it's just stupid. But you're driving a car that you think is the greatest thing in the world, which is an electric car, which is actually worse for the environment. Because where the hell are you going to put the giant fucking battery that's underneath the car? I mean, there are alternative fuel sources that people are working on. They're working on steam. They're working on hydroelectric. I mean, which is, steam and water. They're working on the same. They're working on the same kind of thing. They're also solar panel. I mean, You can put solar panels on a car, but it won't have enough to charge the battery to make it work. The only car that I really do think right now that is actually a pretty decent little car is a hybrid, which was, it looks like one of the ugliest fucking things in the world. It's a Prius, but it's a hybrid. It fucking works. Okay. So why change something that fucking works? Elon Musk came out with a great car. Yeah, he came out with a Tesla. It looks great, but where the hell are you going to put the batteries when you dispose these things? They don't have any places to dispose these batteries. They don't have they don't have the resources to make these batteries. Now, I don't have anything against anybody who drives a Tesla, and I don't have anything against anybody who owns a Tesla. If you have one, more power to you. But the thing about it is that understand that we're not ready for it. We might not be ready for it, but I'm not going to bash it. It's a car. It's got four wheels and a motor, which is something that I totally respect. Yes, I do respect motorcycles, and that's one thing that I want to point out. So, guys, if you see a motorcycle driving down the road, give that motorcycle some space. Don't fucking run up to it and, try to push it off the road and be an asshole. And semi-truck drivers, this goes for you too. If you guys see cars, semi-truck drivers, because I had 3 semi-truck drivers try to drive my ass off the road the other night, which I'm not too happy about. Because when we're driving down the road and we pass you, don't fucking ride our tails like coattails, okay? You have a bigger fucking vehicle than us. And yes, you try to drive 70, 80, 90 miles an hour down the interstate, but you're also hauling a big ass fucking load. And if you crash into the back of us, we're dead. Because it'll accordion a car in a heartbeat. It's like a locomotive. It's just like a single car locomotive, except for if a locomotive hits you, you're done. Totally, you're gone. I mean, and I don't sit here and try to bash everything that happens in the world because, I'm only one guy. Yeah, I'm only one person is all I am. But when it comes to safety and it comes to everything, yes, the reason why I'm so anal about motorcycle safety is because, one, I have 2 friends. One of them died on a motorcycle and one of them still alive because he's been knocked off his bike so many friggin' times. My friend Denny, he's been riding motorcycle all of his life, and there's people who cut him off. There's people who pull out in front of him. There's people who do all kinds of things to him on a bike, and they don't look out for motorcycles. That is one of the biggest fucking things in the world is look out for motorcycles. Yeah, just because it's a motorcycle, but it's loud enough, you should be able to hear it. A crotch rocket, you should be able to hear that coming because it sounds like an F1 race car. It's got a really high, loud exhaust. And the reason why it's got a high, loud exhaust is because so you can hear it coming. And it's got lights all over it. You should not be able to, you should be able to see a motorcycle in your rearview mirror. Now, a pedal bike, you probably won't see them coming. But when I was on a pedal bike, always when I was a kid, we were always told to avoid cars, like the plague, like go around them. And don't go around the front of them, go around the back of them. Yes. But anywho, I'm just, I'm trailing off here, and I know that this sounds kind of fucked up and everything. But the thing is that, I really wish that someday I could get my own garage. And if I had my own garage, people would be able to come there and work on their own cars. All you got to do is sign a fucking waiver saying that you won't sue me if you fucking break your shit because you're the one working on your shit. I wish that they would have that at places. Like when you go and get your oil change done, they make you sit in your car now and then they work on the bottom and they do everything. They're doing the job. See, what I really wish they would let you do is I wish they would let you stand there and watch them work on your car. or let you help. Yeah. But they say it's a liability reason because everybody's so goddamn afraid of suing all the fucking time. If everybody in this world wasn't so sue happy, you know, if they weren't so fucking sue happy all the time, maybe the world would be a better fucking place. I remember back in the day, like somebody sued McDonald's because it didn't have hot coffee written on a fucking, mug or something. Well, if you're in a car shop, there's going to be tools flying around because they're going to be dropping them. There's going to be oil coming out of the car, which is going to be hot, and you're going to get burned. But you want to see what goes on with your car. You want to see them actually work on your fucking car. You know, you want to watch them. You don't want to be behind some fucking plexiglass wall that you can't see if they're actually really doing any fucking work. Yeah, you can't. So that's my biggest thing about, but I want a shop. I want a garage. I seriously want a garage. I've always wanted a garage from day one. Even going to mechanic school. When I went to mechanic school and I went to Wapaton, North Dakota, to North Dakota School of Science and Technology for automotive. Ever since that day when I got to go into a garage and actually see a lift and put a car up on a lift and actually work underneath it, and do that kind of stuff. That is what got me into the whole automotive thing, was actually being able to work on my car. One of the cool things about buying model cars, when you buy model car sets, like the 118 scales or the 124s, you have to glue them together and everything. Yeah. Gluing a car together is like the nuts and bolts used to put the whole car together. But you learn about the insides and outs of a car. You learn about how it's put together. You could read Chilton's manuals. There's these big manuals that are about maybe like, the Atlanta, phone book size, or, they're huge. They're called Chilton's manuals. You can go inside of a Chilton's manual and learn everything about a car. You can go find the wiring. You can find about the exhaust system. You can find about the fuel system. You can find about the turbos. If a car is equipped with turbos, if a car has brake lines, you can actually see the brake lines. Now, I've been seeing ads for car places and car shops and stuff like that. A guy will come in and he'll say, I need a 24-inch wiper blade and an 18-inch wiper blade. And then the guy will say, your make and model. So, but you already said that you want a 24-inch wiper blade and an 18-inch wiper blade. That means that you already know what it goes on, but the guy behind the counter doesn't. So he probably is just saying that because that's standard protocol. Now, if you go in there and you ask for brake lines and you say that you want them a certain length because you've already measured them for them and everything like that, then you don't need to know make and model, because you don't need to know your make and model. You don't need to. No, you just need to know what kind of fittings are on the end, what kind of threads go on the end for the brake lines. And some of the brake lines are already cut now for cars and everything else. It's kind of funny when you go into an O'Reilly's or you go into a Napa or anything like that. Sometimes the guys, you can tell the new guys from the legendary guys, the guys that have been there long. Yeah. And the guys that have been there long are the guys that have the oil and grease on their fingers. You can see it underneath their nails. You can see it all the time. And you know damn well that they've been around a car for a long time. One of the things about me is, yes, I've been working on cars, but I can't work on my cars because I don't have the fucking proper tools. And everybody says, well, Jack, all you need is a jack stands and a lift, and you can do it at home. Well, the thing is that, I'm also one of these kind of people who's very, I get very angry very fast. I get angry very fast. And if something doesn't come back together or doesn't work, I get mad and I throw tools and I fucking just hate the world and everything else because, well, when I used to work in automotive, I was a parts guy. I would go get the part and give it to a mechanic, and then the mechanic would put the part on. And then I would watch the mechanic on how to do it and how to learn, because in case he ever needed help. But I was also a guy who was also about hands-on too. I like touching things. I mean, I can change oil if I can get a vehicle lifted up high enough. So if I can get a car underneath a lift, then I'm okay, you know. But that's what I want. I want my own lift. I want to be able to drive my car in, lift my car up in the air about 10 feet off the ground, take the dipstick out and drain plug out and all this other stuff. Well, you know, you know what I'm saying. Take the drain plug off, drain the oil out, put the drain plug back in, take the filter off, you know, do all that kind of shit, tighten all the fucking shit down, check the oil pan gaskets, check all that other stuff when you do an oil change. See, I always say when you do an oil change, you know, depending on how much the car is, check the oil pan gasket. Check the oil pan gasket to see if you need a new gasket, because those things, you know, those things they go bad. They go bad. Sometimes they can only be cardboard. They can be a cardboard gasket. Sometimes they're rubber, and the rubber warps and gets hot. So it's always time to replace the gasket sometimes. And now these cars are going these cars are going these cars are going, like, you know, they're going, sometimes they're even going over 10,000 miles before they change the oil. There are people who are driving cars with 10,000 mile oil changes. Like, they're doing 10,000 mile oil changes. And it's really kind of like, it's a really long and drawn out process. And, you know, sometimes they're going this long and their car is getting heat. The heat is doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, Mini Coopers, they're so hot underneath the Mini Cooper. I don't understand how come the engine doesn't overheat, because that engine gets so freaking hot. It's like, you know, you're better off driving with your hood off 90% of the time. I am going to kill this fly. This fly has been really pissing me off today. Yes. but I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't, you know, whatever. I've been talking to you guys about cars, and I'm getting ready for these shows, and I can't wait to go. And I'm getting really excited about it. And I just, you know, I really wish that someday I could come live to you guys from a shop and show you how to do stuff. Because I remember one video that I did on YouTube, and it was, you know, replacing the spark plugs on my Mini Cooper, and that was fun. I did that, and it was really cool, and I miss doing that. I probably have to do that again. But Sean Geddes, hey, how's it going, buddy? I'm doing all right, man. You're about 57 minutes into the show already, but I'm glad you said hi. Because, see, that's what you're supposed to do when you message me, or that's what you're supposed to do when you get on the show here, is you're supposed to message me, even in the comments on YouTube or on Facebook. That way I know who you are. So, you know, I'm talking about, you know, maintenance on cars and stuff now. And one of the things that a lot of people need to do is know their maintenance on their car. Keep a log. I mean, keep a log on your phone. Go into your notes. You go into your notes, and you go into your notes on your phone and just say, hey, I got an oil change at this mileage. So next oil change is anywhere from 5,000, 3,000 to 10,000 miles. So that's your next oil change. You know, and get a printout. If you go to a place like Valvoline or anything like that, they have your information on your car. They do. It's stored in a database. And they'll tell you that you need servicing done. And when they tell you to do it, it's not because they want to make an extra fucking buck. It's because your car fucking needs it. You know? But just take a look at it. I mean, just, you know, understand that if you can't work on, like, I can't work on my car because they won't let me work on my car in my neighborhood. They won't, you know? And that's what it is. They won't let me work on my car in my neighborhood. I can't do it. So sometimes you have to take it to an oil change place, or you have to take it to a shop. Most people, you know, take it to a dealership all the time, and then they pay the dealerships, you know, god awful fees. But, you know, the reason why they have them is because they have to make money. That's what they have to do. so they can keep the shop going. And there's nothing wrong with that. No, there isn't. So, and the one thing that you have to understand is you have to look out for your mechanic. Yeah, you have to look out for your mechanic like you have to look out for your you have to look out for your mechanic like you have to look out for your grocer or your barber. I mean, I have a guy who cuts my own hair, and I love Tristan to death. He's a great guy. He cuts my hair. I haven't gotten a haircut for a long time, and you can start seeing I'm going gray. I'm getting up there. I'm getting old. I don't like saying old. I'm getting legendary, but it's gonna turn around someday. I'm gonna start getting older and wiser. But again, just have a safe 4th of July, and I just want you guys to be safe out there. Um, just live, drive, and lay tracks, man. That's my motto for everything. Yes, if you guys want the t-shirts, they're on my Facebook page. Guys, I do have other groups out there for Trax Revolution. I have Motorworks, I have Mini Works, I have off-roading, I have motorcycle. I have all these different pages that I'd like people to follow. I mean, Trax Revolution, I want it to be a household name. We call ourselves Traxaholics or Miniacs, or we call ourselves Traxaholics. That's what we call us. Yeah, we're Traxaholics. That's what we are. Yep. We're Traxaholics. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a Traxaholic. I suffer from a problem of being around too much cars. I also am, and actually, I'm now starting to paint cars. Remember how I used to paint shoes all the time and do all the stuff with shoes? Well, now I'm painting cars. I'm working on a Ford Bronco right now. I'm calling it Bronco One because it's going to be a red, white, and blue Bronco. It's all painted up American colors, and yeah. And if you guys see my Mini Cooper out driving around in St. Cloud and anywhere in Minnesota, don't say that my paint job looks like shit, or don't make fun of my car, because you're making fun of the American flag is what you're doing. You're pissing on the American flag if you say something about my car being a shitty paint job, because my car is actually trying to be basically an American flag. It's basically what it is I'm driving around a Mini Cooper that's red, white, and blue with stars on it, because I want it to represent cars, and I want it to represent America. And I mean, yeah, if I have a Confederate flag flying behind my Mini Cooper, it's not because I am racist or anything like that. It's because I am using the flag that represented the South in the Civil War, and I'm also repping the United States flag, and I'm also repping the Union Jack too, to be honest with you, because the Union Jack is red, white, and blue. The American flag is red, white, and blue, and the Confederate flag is red, white, and blue. So basically, I'm Rebel Jacked. That's what my car is called. It's called Rebel Jacked. The reason why my car is called Rebel Jacked is because it is to represent red, white, and blue, and to represent England, America. Yeah, England and America as being a place, and I'm proud to be an American, because at least I know I'm free, because I won't forget the man who died to give that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend it still today, because there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. You guys have a safe and happy 4th of July. This is Jack's Trax saying, hey, peace out, live, drive, and lay tracks, and happy 4th of July. Oh, yeah. And let's make automotive great again. Peace out. Peace up. A-Town.